All right, hello, Cloud Gurus. A great way to deploy Kubernetes is to do it through Docker Desktop. So, Docker Desktop is an application you install on your Mac or Windows desktop or laptop computer, and it comes in a couple of different flavors. It allows you to run not only Docker, but also Kubernetes, all in a single download. We're here at docker.com, and I encourage you to follow along with me as we do this. If we go to Products and then click on Desktop, you can see we can download Desktop for Mac or Windows. If we click on that, we're prompted to sign in with our free Docker ID for Docker Hub. And from here, you can easily download Docker Desktop for a Mac or Docker Desktop for Windows. Now, I'm not going to go into Docker Desktop for Windows because honestly, the installation is very similar to installing Docker Desktop for Mac, and it's just the same as installing just about any other Windows application. Plus, we will go into ways to install Kubernetes in Windows in upcoming lessons. So I'm going to click Download Docker Desktop for Mac. That'll start the 650 megabyte download, and while that happens, I wanted to show you over here that there are a couple of different editions of Docker Desktop. But first, notice that it says Docker Desktop allows you to set up a certified Kubernetes environment. And if you scroll down, you can see there is Docker Desktop Community Edition and Docker Desktop Enterprise Edition. And they're very similar, but there are some differences here. So if you're a developer, you want to keep in mind the Enterprise Edition that's available to you, of course, with an upcharge, but it gives you full support as well as some other flexibility around choosing the Docker engine and the Kubernetes version that matches your Docker Enterprise Edition. I'll click the installation. And from here, we're prompted to drag the Docker app into our applications folder. And then I'll click on Applications, find Docker, and launch the Docker app. We'll need to provide Docker Desktop privileged access. And from there, Docker Desktop will start up. They encourage you to enter your Docker ID and password here. And now it says Docker Desktop is up and running. If we click on the Docker Desktop icon, you can see that it is running. Let's click on About Docker Desktop and take a look at that. We're now running Kubernetes version 1.14.6. as well as Docker Engine version 19.03.2. If we go into Preferences, there are Kubernetes preferences here. And what we'll need to do to enable Kubernetes is to check the box that simply says Enable Kubernetes. And I also like to check the box to show system containers. I'll click Apply and Restart. And with that, you can see that Docker Engine and Kubernetes are now running. So if we click Cancel here, we should be able to open up our terminal, and let's just go to the command line, and I'll type Docker version, and you can see we have Docker Community Edition version 1903 there, and then we'll type kubectl version -o equals JSON, and you can see here the server version is 1.14.6, as well as the client version. So we are running Kubernetes here. We can also type kubectl get nodes and see that we do have a single node. It's a master node, and its name in this case is Docker Desktop. So that's how easy it is to use Docker Desktop to deploy Kubernetes. Now let me show you some other ways to get started using Kubernetes. I hope you'll join me in the next lesson.